Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Patriot Specialized. Today's episode, we are almost to Indianapolis. Pick up this D6 bulldozer, going over to Baltimore, Maryland. A couple goofy things about this. We're going to talk about that when we get there. Get this thing loaded up, and we will try to make our way to Baltimore. Get this thing delivered tomorrow afternoon. Stick around.
Right across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys.
Alright, so all loaded up. You just saw that. Figure we walk around this thing, cover load real quick. She's bigger. Not as heavy as I thought it would be. It's exactly what they told me it would be, but it looks like it'd be a lot heavier than what it is. So you saw our baby, but here it is right here on the trailer. This is a D6 Dozer, a 1982 model. Fired up and ran perfect. Unbelievable that this thing's been pushing dirt for 40 years, more than 40 years, and it fires right up and runs like a champ. Not the cleanest unit I've ever seen, but I don't think this one's going to Tartan Terminals, not into Dundalk, so they don't care quite as much over at Tartan. I don't know why. I don't know what the difference is there versus Dundalk, but they don't care about the dirt quite as much. We are going to sweep a little bit off, just to make sure it doesn't come off going down the road. But here's what I did for securement on this thing. Then we're going to check some dimensions because we need to know that. So what I did for securement, the thing only weighs 45,000 pounds. We are way over secured, I'm sure. But what I did is back here on the tracks, because I had the equipment out, not for any other reason. Didn't really need to, but more is better than less. So I X-chained across with 2 chains, 2 binders. You get one full credit for that. Then I ran one through the hitch here. This one here goes up through the hitch, comes back down. We get full credit for that chain as well. So that's 2 chains we got on there. And then I did the same thing I like to do off the tracks. I put a binder right from the edge of the track down to the edge of the trailer on each side. So we get 1 chain worth of credit for that. So got 3 chains on the back. These are all 3/8 chains. So we got 3 chains on the back. And then back here, I did same thing. Binder right off the edge of the track down the edge of the trailer. You get half credit for that one, half credit for that one over there, so we get full credit for those 2. So that makes 4 chains holding this thing in. And then off the blade back here, I went ahead and X'd it off the top, the pieces there came down both ways just to hold the blade down create a little bit of backward pressure, so if I have to slam on the brakes, it's going to hold on to it. We get half credit for those two chain, or well, full credit for the two, but half credit for each one. So we got 5 chains on a 46,000 pound load. 46,000 pounds requires 23,000 securement. 5 chains times 6,500. We are well over 3,000, about 33. Whoo, I can't. 32,000 pounds worth of securement on what requires 23. So really good shape there. Now I want to get some measurements because it's going to matter, I think. We'll go see what happens here. So first off, let's get a height measurement because I'm not scared of that one. All right, so that one's 12 foot 4 inches. Even though I knew it wasn't an issue, I knew this thing was pretty low and I knew it wasn't going to be over 13.6. It's always good to take a measurement. You never know when you're going to run into a bridge that you didn't know about that's marked with a certain height. And you kind of want to know what you are so you know if you can get under that thing or not. That 12 foot 4, I have not released my brakes yet. So the trailer's probably lifted up a little bit. So we're probably actually more like 12.2. But we're gonna go with the 12.4 just to be 100% sure. Now here's the one I want to know. I'm gonna see how this turns out. All right, well, we are just under 13 feet. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna run around here to the mechanic shop and I'm gonna have them take this piece right here off. That is gonna take off. By taking that thing off, we're gonna take 4 inches off of each side. That'll bring us down to 12 foot 2. So we will be in great shape there. Oh, pretty simple. All we gotta do is, yeah, there's just 6 bolts. Take this plate off, take that plate off, and then I'll just put them back up in there when we get to the port. So there you go. I'm gonna run around the shop over here. We're gonna get them to take them off real quick, and then I will be on my way to Baltimore. We'll try to get this thing delivered tomorrow. So, all right. So I'm gonna stop this video right here. And do a little explanation here. During this video while I was making it, and you just kind of see it on there, I'm just kind of like, well, you know, this is what the measurements are, really no big deal. We're going to get under this 12 foot 4 escort requirement. And that's all great. Like that was the goal right then. What I put it on there that I didn't realize how bad this really was. And I can't believe that I forgot this, but I did. I have nobody else to blame but me. I wish I could blame somebody else, but this turned into just a hot mess. A hot mess that it ended up working out okay, but it just turned into a hot mess fast. And the reason being is because I was thinking about that 12.4 escort requirement. I was thinking about the other states, like what they require. And what hadn't come into my brain, and I had said in there, you know, I hadn't realized what the worst part of this whole situation is. If you watch early on my channel, I posted a couple videos. I was hauling bulldozers, and I talked about Pennsylvania's rules with bulldozers. And what I didn't realize and had completely forgot about was the fact that Pennsylvania requires you to have any blade, bulldozer with a blade, over 12 foot requires blade guards. Blade guards are something we don't have. I've never actually seen them on a bulldozer anywhere. So I don't. Now I know where to get them and the company to get them from, and I have contact information. I may call and talk to them and see what they cost to have them made. I don't know. But I had completely forgot about that, and unfortunately, it didn't dawn on me until after I had left there, and I was almost into Ohio when we started requesting the Ohio permit, and we're trying to figure out routing to get me into Pennsylvania. And when the Pennsylvania came back and said, you know, we need a blade guard serial number in order to issue this permit, and I was like, holy crap, I completely forgot about it. Now, how this worked out and what saved my butt, this was a complete disaster. Like, this would have been, had I not been able to work this out, and it's pretty crazy how it worked out, but had I not been able to work it out, this would have been a huge issue. Like, I would have been fighting with trying to get those blade guards made, trying to get them installed so that I could go into Pennsylvania. There's no way to get to Maryland without going through PA from where I was. So I had to do that. And what we ended up doing there was, when I took those two pieces off, we actually got, by taking those two pieces off, it got us down a little bit less than what I thought it was. And we got it down to, it was about 12 foot and a half, 12 foot 3/4, somewhere in there. Close enough that I called that 12 feet. Like, I just called it 12 feet. Very difficult to measure. We called it 12 feet. We permitted it that way, and we were able to move through and be okay with those blade guards. But as it stood, this could have turned into a huge disaster and cost me so much time and so much money, just for a simple oversight on my part that I wasn't paying attention. I was so worried about getting the load to where I wanted to go so that I could get a load out of there, and then worrying about the escort requirements, that it just totally gone out of my brain that you got to have blade guards in PA. So, man, this one could have been bad. It just could have been. Got lucky, made it work, but this is a level of stress that you just don't want in the middle of the day as a surprise. I really thought I had a couple easy days going, and as it turns out, it was two of the most stressful days that I had. So in the end, it worked out. We got the bulldozer there, but definitely took a couple years off my life, I think, in the process. So here's the rest of the video, and I will talk to you again here in a minute at the end. All right, so now you've seen the rest of the video. You saw us taking off those guards, or those outer corner edges that cut it down quite a bit. So it all ended up working out, and we got our permits that we needed. A little bit of stress getting them, but we got the permits we needed, and we got on our way. I ended up staying in Wheeling, West Virginia last night. I stayed there, left out there at daylight this morning, made it to the Tartan Terminal. And if you guys haven't been in the Tartan Terminal, it is on the south side of the tunnel right off 95 in Baltimore, right by there is a port for cruise ships. There was actually one sitting there today. It looked like they were getting ready to load, but you get off that terminal. It's just on the south side of the tunnel, and this terminal is actually, it's a port. You know, they ship in and ship out from overseas. It's actually a really good terminal to go to. If you ever get the chance and you can take something there, don't be worried about it. As long as your paperwork is correct, they are very easy to get along with, very easy to get in and out of. Very nice people. So don't ever be scared of going there. If you get a Tartan Terminal, it's also called Locust Point, I believe, Locust Point Terminal. Great place to go, easy. Got to have your paperwork right, though. That's the catch with that place is if you're taking a vehicle with a title in there, you have to have the original title, not a copy of it, the original. If you're taking a vehicle like I did that doesn't have a title to it, then you got to have a certified bill of sale and the doc receipt. You also have to have doc receipt for a wheeled vehicle with a title, but you got to have doc receipt either way, and then you got to have either a title or a bill of sale notarized bill of sale. So in my case, I had the doc receipt and the bill of sale. No big deal. I had 2 copies of each. That's what they asked for. You have to have 4 copies of the original title plus 4 copies for whatever reason. Then you got to have 2 copies of doc receipt and 2 copies of the bill of sale if you're taking a vehicle like me. I went in there, handed it to him. The girl said, "You're all in order. Like, do you know where to go?" And I said, "It's been a while. Is it still back there in the corner?" She said, "Yeah." And so I went over there. They told me where they wanted it. I took it off the trailer, put it there. They gave me they put a sticker on it, gave me my my paperwork and my gate pass, and I got out of there. So very smooth. However, that portion of that port, they will not let you film or take photos at all. Like, you're not allowed to do it at all. So I wasn't able to film the delivery on that, but we did get delivered. I think it was about 1:30, 1:45 when I pulled out of there. I got there right when they went on lunch, so I had to wait till 1 o'clock till they got back from lunch. I think I got out of there about 1:45. Ran around the corner to the Port of Baltimore and got picked up. So stay tuned to the next episode. You're going to see picking up a 980 wheel loader. She's a big girl. She's a big load. We're going to see that on the next episode. I appreciate everybody tuning in. If it's your first time on the channel, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Thanks for tuning in. Please consider hitting that subscribe button and become part of the Patriot Specialized family. If you're coming back to the channel, as always, guys, man, I say it every time. I love you guys. I appreciate it. It's so much, I enjoy so much interacting and the comments that go back and forth and seeing what everybody thinks of the video. So that being said, we will see you guys on the next one. So everybody stay safe out there.